بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا كما أمر، وأشكره وقد تأذن بالزيادة لمن شكر، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، ولو كره ذلك من أشرك به وكفر، وعلى آله وأصحابه سيد البشر صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه خير صحب ومعشر، وسلم تسليما. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
All praise is due to the Almighty Allah, Jalla Jalaluhu, the sustainer of the universe, the creator of mankind. I bear witness that there is none worthy for worship but Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala alone, and pray that may His peace and blessings be bestowed upon our last noble messenger, and that is Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Allow me begin with few words of wisdom. Since all of us here, we are to a course of seeking for knowledge, allow me remind you of some of the bounties of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala in the field we are in now. First and foremost, I want you to all know that we came from nothing. There was a time when I and you were not known in this world, were not even expected to be part of this world. Just like as Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala said, هل أتى على الإنسان حين من الدهر لم يكن شيئا مذكورا. You were nothing at all. Then there came a time that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala decided that you be amongst the dwellers of this world, and you came onto it. Then after, you came when you were totally nothing. You have no value at all. You have no any kind of knowledge with you. Just like as Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala said, وَهُوَ الَّذِي أَخْرَجَكُم مِّن بُطُونِ أُمَّهَاتِكُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ شَيْئًا. He is Allah who brought you from your mother's wombs, and by that time you knew nothing at all. Then, after we existing in this world, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala put for us sources from which we can be able to attach ourselves onto so as to earn a living in this world. From the sources that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala organized for us was the path of knowledge, seeking for knowledge. He put for us everything that is necessary for you to be aided to seek for knowledge. Then He left the ball in our hands. It's either you to decide and seek for knowledge or not to seek for knowledge. But because He knew whom we are and what is better for us, He never left out advising us to seek for knowledge. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said in one of his traditions that man salaka tariqan, whoever takes a path, we came from different destinations here. Others, we are born of here. Others, we are born of Kampala. Others, we are born of outside Uganda. But what brought us all here was knowledge. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, whoever gets a path seeking for knowledge, يلتمس فيه علما سهل الله له طريقا إلى الجنة. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala paves for this person a way which will take him or her to paradise. Allahu Akbar. Then, to show you that this path is very precious in our lives, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, وَإِنَّ الْمَلَائِكَةَ لَتَضَعُ أَجْنِحَتَهَا رِضًا لِطَالِبِ الْعِلْمِ. Even the angels, whenever they see somebody taking a path to seek for knowledge, they become very, very humble to this person. They lower their wings in a sign of showing respect to this person. Then there came an added value to someone who seeks for knowledge. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, وَإِنَّ طَالِبَ الْعِلْمِ لَيَسْتَغْفِرُ لَهُ مَنْ فِي السَّمَاءِ وَالْأَرْضِ حَتَّى الْحِيتَانِ فِي الْمَاءِ. The Prophet said, this seeker of knowledge, whenever he or she takes this path, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala gives an ability that all what is in the heavens. And what do you think is in heavens? Very many creatures, amongst which are the angels of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, which are the largest creatures in number amongst all creatures of Allah are the angels. He said, all the dwellers of heaven make istighfar to this person who has taken a path to seek for knowledge. Then he said, wal ard, even the dwellers of this world, we, mankind, jinns, insects, birds, everything that lives onto this world makes istighfar for you. It says, oh Allah, please forgive this person. He or she has taken a path to seek for knowledge. Then the Prophet never ended there. He said, وَحَتَّى الْحِيتَانِ فِي الْمَاءِ, even the fish under the sea, in water, it also makes istighfar for this person. Just imagine the kind of a rank a seeker of knowledge is into, just because of those few words the Prophet, peace be upon him, used. So, please, if we are part of this kind of people whom Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala and His Messenger spoke about, then let's strengthen ourselves. Then lastly, you might have identified the benefits of you coming here to seek for knowledge about our religion. But you might have a brother or a sister who hasn't got what you have got, who has no ideas like the ones you are having. Please, convey the same information to that person. And that's how we help each other. Since you got love, you developed love for this program, let your friend also be part of it. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحب لنفسه. You will never be a complete believer except when you wish for others what you wish for yourself. Then, this person whom you have called, whenever he or she will be doing anything good out of it, you get a reward, a total, unequal reward of it. إِنَّ الدَّالَّ عَلَى الْخَيْرِ كَفَاعِلِهِ. Whoever tells somebody to do good, and that person does that good, he earns the reward. Then you who told him or her to do it, you also earn an equal reward of it. So that is a message that we all need to convey to our fellow brothers and sisters who are within the campus and maybe outside, so that we equally benefit in such programs. Allow me go into the topic for today. we are going to speak or to discuss something about Shahada. We might be hearing of this word and maybe we loosen its value. Yes, you hear about it and you take it as something simple. Allow me pull your minds a bit to bring a hint closer to you about the value of this word we are going to discuss about today, Shahada, which is La ilaha illallah. The first way of identifying the value of this word will be brought from one of the traditions of the Prophet, peace be upon him, where he said, one day, Musa alayhi salam, we all know him, the one who was in a battle with Fir'aun, alayhi la'natullah. Alayhi la'natullah. Yes, some people said that Fir'aun is amongst the people who are going to enter paradise. Just imagine. They say Fir'aun is going to be amongst the dwellers of paradise. But for us, we believe and we are very sure that he is amongst the dwellers of hellfire. So that's why I added that word, that alayhi la'natullah. Musa alayhi salam told Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala, he said, Ya Rabb, allimni shay'an ad'uka wa adhkuruka bih. Oh Allah, teach me something which I will use to thank you and to also ask favors from you and to remember you. Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala said, Ya Musa, qul la ilaha illallah. Oh Musa, just say la ilaha illallah. Then Musa was like, Ya Allah, kullu ibadika yaquluna hadha. All people said the same word. I want a special one rather than this one. Then Allah wanted to show Musa alayhi salam the value of this word. He said, Ya Musa, لو أن السماوات السبع وعامرهن غيري والأرضين السبع في كفة ولا إله إلا الله في كفة مالت بهن لا إله إلا الله. He said, O Musa alayhi salam, my prophet, my messenger, let me tell you something. Could it be that Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala brings all what is in heavens, the seven heavens, and all what is onto the seven earths, and whatever is in between those two, or those creatures of Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala, everything, the trees, the mountains, oceans, heavens, even the heaven is it's heavy according to the evidence that came about them. He said, even if all those things are brought and put onto one side of a weighing machine, a weighing scale, then Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala brings la ilaha illallah and puts it to the other end of this weighing machine or weighing scale, lamalat bihinna la ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah could overweigh all the rest of these creatures that Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala created. That's one. Two, to show you that this word is too powerful, we have assurance that nobody will ever say it and dwell in hellfire forever and ever. You will never keep it with you, and you dwell in hellfire forever and ever. Never. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ قَدْ حَرَّمَ عَلَى النَّارِ مَنْ قَالَ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ يَبْتَغِي بِذَلِكَ وَجْهَ اللَّهِ. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala made it forbidden, prohibited to hellfire, to burn whoever said La ilaha illallah, and in it he or she was seeking to make Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala happy. That's La ilaha illallah. Then maybe the last issue we can bring to show you the value of this word is however disrespectful someone is, disobedient, even if you do all the bad acts in this world, all of them you do them. And there comes a time, maybe you did them when you weren't a Muslim. Then comes a time and you wish to embrace Islam. All what you did is rubbed off from you. You will never be brought on the day of judgment and they judge you that why did you do this and that? Just because you mentioned La ilaha illallah and you accepted Islam. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala said to the Prophet, peace be upon him, he said, قُلْ لِلَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا إِن يَنْتَهُوا يُغْفَرُ لَهُم مَا قَدْ سَبَقَ. Tell those disbelievers that if they opt to live out the disbelief they are in, all what they did during their reign of disbelief is cancelled. They are judged nothing. They are judged nothing. Then, one of the companions of the Prophet, peace be upon him, Amr ibn al-As, he came after realizing that for sure Islam is the best religion ever. He came to Medina when the Prophet, peace be upon him, was there, and he wished to embrace Islam. He came to the Prophet and said, "Oh, you the Prophet of Allah, I want to embrace Islam. Please bring your hand and I make bay'ah. How can we term it? Bring your hand.
Make trade.
We make
An exchange of like trade, better trade, something like
not trade. The Arabs had this habit that whenever they could agree onto something, they hold their hands. This one holds the hand of the other. They call it al-bay'u, but I have failed to term it in English. Sheikh Sha'ban. A pact. They make a pact. So he brought his hand to make a pact with the Prophet, peace be upon him. Then he realized something and removed his hand. The Prophet asked him that, why have you done so? He said, I'm going to do it, but on a condition. Please, should I have hope that Allah is going to forgive me what I did when I was the other side, when I wasn't a Muslim by that time? Then the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "O you Amr ibn al-As, أما علمت أن الإسلام يهدم ما كان قبله?" O you Amr ibn al-As, don't you know that Islam, whenever you embrace it, it rubs off all the bad deeds, all the bad acts you did when you weren't a Muslim? Then that's when he put his hand again to make that pact with the Prophet, peace be upon him. That is the power of La ilaha illallah. Something we are speaking of, and after someone realizing the value of something, that's when you come to protect it. minus knowing the value of that thing, you will never have that heart of protecting it.
Sheikh Abdurahim, a small question. Shahada is a statement, is it?
No.
Do you mean that when I commit sins, when I'm not a Muslim, I commit felonies, grave offenses, like killing people, like making zina, like drinking alcohol, like making shirk and sihr, and when I say la ilaha illallah, Allah forgives me all these offenses?
Even if you do each of what you have spoken about 1,000 times.
Allah, a mere statement.
A mere statement.
La ilaha illallah Muhammad.
A mere statement. You will never realize, and there is something we need to take caution about, which is defend anything you know nothing about its value. It's very difficult. But allow me tell you, my fellow Muslims, brothers and sisters, please, wherever you are, as long as you are a Muslim, never let yourself down. Because there is an assurance from Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala that you will never be put to the lowest of the low. When you preserve your Islam, your religion. What did Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala say? He said, وَلَنْ يَجْعَلَ اللَّهُ لِلْكَافِرِينَ عَلَى الْمُؤْمِنِينَ سَبِيلًا. Allah will never make you lower than somebody who is not a Muslim. So wherever you are, just be sure that I am the best. Me being a Muslim, I am the best. Never get ashamed of your religion. Prevail it to others. Let them know. Just because you know the value of the religion you are in. When you want to realize that it's a very, very valuable issue, just try to unveil yourself from it. That's when you'll come to realize that things are not easy. Let's hold tight to our religion. You being a Muslim, that's one of the precious things you have in this world. I normally mention to you the words of one of our scholars, Imam al-Qahtani. He said, الدين رأس المال فاستمسك به فضياعه من أعظم الخسران. This religion is our capital. Therefore, hold tight to it. For whenever you allow yourself to lose it, that's a very big loss for you. You have lost everything in this world. Never fear any situation, however critical it might assume to be. Let it not be a reason for you to unveil yourself from the religion of Islam. They steal somebody's shoes. And this person makes a statement that I will never come for Salah again. Just because of shoes. Even they might be even sandals.
Umoja.
Somebody says, to hell with Salah.
It's okay.
That's because we haven't learned the value of the religion we are in. But those who were there before us knew its value. That's why they never feared anything as long as they knew that Islam is there. An example, Bilal ibn Rabah, radiyallahu anhu. He was a slave. His captain, his master was called Umayyah ibn Khalaf. When he knew that Bilal has embraced Islam, has accepted to become a Muslim, that's when he began putting all sorts of punishments to him. To the extent that they could tie a rope around his neck and they give him over to the children of Mecca to play around with him. They could carry him on a very hot day, not like ours here, in a desert. A very hot day, sand is too hot. They make him lie down, clothes off, they get a very huge stone and they put onto him. He bees there for the rest of the day. Why? They want him to say, to hell with La ilaha illallah. To hell with Islam. That's all. His privileges will come back. He said no. I won't. They did all sorts of punishments. He said no. Because he knew the value of the religion he was carrying. And from that, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala paid him. Time came, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq bought him and saved him from slavery. Then after, he was one of the companions of the Prophet, peace be upon him. Not only that, he was one of the prominent ones. He got a lot of privileges onto this world. He was a permanent timekeeper of the Prophet, peace be upon him. He got privileges in this world. Then on the day of judgment, he has the best of all. The Prophet, peace be upon him, he was once...
On the day of judgment, he will have the best privilege, inshallah.
Yes.
Before we continue, I will ask kindly the ladies to put in front, inshallah. We are breaking the law of Sharia and we are in Allah's house. Akati bemenya amateeka nga tuli wa mukama waffe. Ate tuba tujoze nnyo. Inshallah, let's pull in front. Get msikie maso. Seka. Abalinzi batono. Seka injini. Seka Faisal.
He has something better than what he got onto this world. One day the Prophet, peace be upon him, was taken to visit paradise. He visited paradise. When he came back, he called Bilal. He said, Bilal, first come here. That was after Salatul Fajr, Salatul Subh. He said, oh Bilal, come here. Please, may you tell me something, please. Do you know that when I was being toured around paradise, I heard the footsteps of your shoe in paradise? When the Prophet, peace be upon him, was being toured around paradise, he heard the footsteps of Bilal ibn Rabah. What does that signify? It shows that he is amongst those people who are going to be dwellers of paradise. Why not? When Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala became happy became happy to all the companions of the Prophet, peace be upon him. What did he say? وَالسَّابِقُونَ الْأَوَّلُونَ مِنَ الْمُهَاجِرِينَ وَالْأَنصَارِ وَالَّذِينَ اتَّبَعُوهُمْ بِإِحْسَانٍ رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنْهُمْ وَرَضُوا عَنْهُ. Allah became pleased over them, to them. Just like the way they were pleased to Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. He paid them the same. So he has that grant from Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, but that is where he came from. Remember, others made the same, but they were killed. But they never said, to hell with La ilaha illallah, to hell with Islam. Who was the first person to die in the path of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala? Sumayya, isn't it? She was a lady. Why was she killed? Why was she killed? Because of La ilaha illallah. Did she say, to hell with La ilaha illallah, I still want to live? The whole of her family tested the same. Her husband was called Ammar. Her son was called Yasir. Herself, she was called Sumayya. They tested the same punishments. Yasir was killed. Sumayya was killed. We all know how she was killed. Just imagine how painful it was. But when she compared it with La ilaha illallah, she said to hell, do whatever you want. Those were people who understood the meaning of La ilaha illallah and its value. Let's ask the same question to ourselves. Can you also be an example of them? Can you do a like of what they did? You keep that question and the answer for you to yourself.
Sheikh, they can even tell some of us here that we are going to Kenya 100 strokes. Sir, I'm not a Muslim. Wallahi si Muslim. Zina kuva muda. Ila Sheikh, tunaingia jana.
So Allah tukwati devo.
Allahumma.
Naam. Now, let's speak something little about La ilaha illallah. This word it's made up of two sections. The first section is where someone is saying, I bear witness that there is no one who can give life. There is no one who can provide. There is no one who can kill. There is no one who can benefit me anything. There is no one who can be there for me. And all sort of those which are in the hands of the Supreme Being, who is Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. You bear that there is none who can bring them closer to you except Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, the Lord of mankind, Rabbul Alameen. He's the one who takes care of all of us. To make this word look a bit more clear, allow me bring a scenario from the words of the Prophet, peace be upon him. He one day happened to be closer to one of his companions. He was called Abdullah ibn Abbas, radiyallahu anhuma. It is Abdullah ibn Abbas himself who narrates to us this happening. He said, one day I was near the Prophet, peace be upon him, and he told me that, Ya ghulam, allow me teach you words which Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala will benefit you with. Then he said, احفظ الله يحفظك. Please, hold tight yourself to Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Make yourself available to Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Do not leave him, يحفظك. He will also keep tight to you. Will not let you down. احفظ الله تجده تجاهك. Hold tight to Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, and you will find him wherever you go. Whenever you will be in need of him, he will be there for you. Then he said, وَإِذَا سَأَلْتَ فَاسْأَلِ اللَّهِ. Please, when you are to ask for any favor, then ask it from Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. وَإِذَا اسْتَعَنْتَ فَاسْتَعِنْ بِاللَّهِ. If you are to trust anyone, then let that person be Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Then he said, وَاعْلَمْ, and know, أَنَّ الْأُمَّةِ, that even if all the people of this world لو اجتمعت على أن ينفعوك بشيء لم ينفعوك إلا بشيء قد كتبه الله لك. Just know that even if the people of this world gather and they agree upon organizing something which will be of a benefit to you, they will never be able to make it, except when that something, it is Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala who organized it that way. وَأَنَّ الْأُمَّةِ, just as that you have to know that لو اجتمعت على أن يضروك بشيء لم يضروك إلا بشيء قد كتبه الله عليك. That even if the people of this world join hands, the abilities of making any harm unto you, they will never make it, except when it's Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala who organized it that way. He told those words to Abdullah ibn Abbas. It was like the Prophet was telling him that, please, let Allah be your number one in everything. He understood those words. And when you read the history of Abdullah ibn Abbas, you will really confirm that he understood the words of the Prophet, peace be upon him. I revealed the same words to you. And that was how the Prophet, peace be upon him, kept the companions. He kept them knowing that if you have any need, the one to ask is Allah. You want anything, Allah is there. Ask him. Except when you tell us that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala has things that he cannot be able to do them. But if you all believe that he is capable of doing anything, that whatever he wants, he wishes to be, he says be, and it be's. إنما أمره إذا أراد شيئا أن يقول له كن فيكون. When he says it be's. When he says now, Imam, you die. He is the controller of everything in this world. He decides whatever he decides and it be's. Says this one and it be's. He says this one and it be's. So that's why in Islam we say that whenever you face anything rough, before you thinking of anything, first know that it was from Allah. Yesterday, I happened to watch a video of a certain gentleman ndoza omukyala gwe yali ayagala yamukyaye, and the gentleman was crying like a baby. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm thinking of killing myself. In fact, please, I don't want anybody to advise me. I'm gone. Islam doesn't, for me, how I wish that we loved Allah the same way we love our beloved ones. Not the same, more than. Because when I said the same, that is a mistake.
Of course.
Because somebody can love you to maximum, and then there comes a day and it ends. Ennaku zino abavubuka balina akagambo. You know, people are used to posting their times of joy to platforms. There is a lady who posted something on her page. She had got a husband. She posted him onto her page. Then somebody wrote in a comments room that it will end in tears. Then, after 2 weeks, indeed it ended. Now, this lady came back. You know, ladies nowadays, they fear nothing. She says, you leave me, I get another one. So she came back and said, abalogo kuno baliwa. The witches of this platform, where are you? You bewitched me and it happened like the way you wished it to happen. How I wish that we loved Allah more than how we love our beloved ones. Because it's one of the signs of Iman. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, ثلاثة من كن فيه وجد حلاوة الإيمان. 3 aspects. Whenever somebody is found into them, he will have tasted the sweetness of Iman. Amongst the 3 was أن يكون الله ورسوله أحب إليه مما سواهما. Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala and his messenger being the most beloved amongst all the rest of what this person loves. So, how I wish that we loved Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala the same way, more than the way we love things we love most.
Sheikh,
our beloved ones.
I think we should also make it a point. How can Khadija get married to Ambrose? Because men are scarce. And then she changes religion from Islam to Christianity or to any other religion because abasajja bambula. How?
She doesn't know the value of La ilaha illallah.
How do you drop La ilaha illallah because of a man? Even our brothers, how do you drop La ilaha illallah because of a Muchotala? How?
We could think of the things Allah has done for us. We could love him more. Kubanga byonna ebyavirako kubanga oyo gogamba nti gosinga okwagala omwagala eyabimwanguwiriza okubanga abikukolera yani na ani eyandibadde asooka okwagalwa nga tonnamwagala
obulungi bw'omutendo obwo
ani yabumuwa ndowooza imamu ojja kubajjukiza ekyafaayo kya Majnun Layla.
Allahu akbar kabir. Si
leero bwe tunaba tuvudde wano tujja kuyitako ewa imamu atubuulire ekyafaayo kya Majnun Layla.
Inshallah.
Naye nga let's try to love Allah more than anything else. Like Majnun Layla used to love Layla. I remember that part where he bypassed people who were praying. He passed over them. He was Majnun. Majnun means madness. Love had thrown him into madness. He sings Layla, he sleeps Layla, he wakes up Layla. Now, he passes over people who were praying. He went and came back. By the time he passed, they were in Salah. By the time he came back, they were out of Salah, they had finished. None of these people were like, for sure, this man needs dua. Tuina mukolera azikari kuba bimususeko. How can you bypass us and you go when you are in Salah and you are a Muslim? Majnun Layla said, for sure, I admit, my problem is Layla. And as my problem being Layla, could you people also have been in an engagement with Allah.
In love
that
with Allah.
You are in love with Allah, and by that time you believe that you are speaking with Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Just as I never saw you because I was thinking about Layla, you couldn't also have seen me because you could have been thinking about Allah. When we realize what Allah does for us in our lives, we shall learn to love Him. Allow me finish with this because of time. This La ilaha illallah of ours, it has things which fight it, whereby, however precious we have mentioned the value of La ilaha illallah, there are things which can demolish it, which can make it be of no value to you at all. Whenever you turn anything which is in control of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala to being in control of any other creature, you have begun to demolish your La ilaha illallah. We have people here who were given things to come with here, and they are told that these things help him or help them to pass and be successful in their studies. We have them in our cases, our boxes in the hostels. We work with them in our wallets. The one who gave you told you that whenever you get any difficult, get it and you bite it. Keep quiet. Bite it and keep quiet. Now, when you reach that extent, you have begun to demolish your La ilaha illallah. Since one of the things which disturb us are love issues.
No.
And somebody can do anything.
Possibly.
Anything, Imam, anything to win over you. I had one lying in the fellow. I will not mention it. Let me leave it off. Such things, since those people who are against Islam realized that we love them very much, they use them as weapons to demolish our La ilaha illallah. They tell a boy, they tell a girl, please, you want him to love you, you alone. Whenever he goes the other side, nothing. He functions nothing. When he comes to you, he's very okay. Just do this and that, and it's all done. When you do this, you put it in water, you drink, you bathe, maybe you do this, all your problems will have been washed. Such things. A tradition of the Prophet, peace be upon him. He said, he generalized all those things in 3 issues. He said, Inna ruqa wattamaima wattiwalata shirk. He said, mazimaddala okukuba ebitabo, that cycle eyokukuba ebitabo ebyo bagita ruqa in Arabic. Beating books? Wow, what a term. Okay, beating books. What tamaima? A tamaim, during that time of the Prophet, peace be upon him, they could make something, maybe in form of a rope, yes, and they tie onto any part of the body of a child, and they say this thing prevents this child from all evil eyes. Nessa was not to be causes. Never could babina.
Sheikh Osangum.
Yes. Then what tiwala? The most problem is here. What tiwala? A tiwala, they are things organized. Oba buunga, oba it's felt, oba kagua, oba kareda kamana, anything that if you have it and you have anybody you love, it does for you everything. During that time, a tiwala was something they could organize if a man has his wife and wants his wife to love him more. Nga mufafu ke majnuni akakozese. The same to a wife who had a husband nga yagala mufeko yekka could do the same. The Prophet said all those things, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, are shirk. They demolish your la ilaha illallah. Let's take care of them. Very many things. Let's take care of them. Please. The first enemy of la ilaha illallah is shirk. Never allow it to come closer to you. Because nebo oliva n'emirimu nga gyenkana wa emirungi ng'eswala sigidde eno ekoma eno bweti wonna wano weeri eswala osaala eswala mutwalo mu lunaku. You do all sort of good deeds nga n'empale wagitema n'ekirevu kwekiri. But you make a mistake of making shirk once, all your deeds will be multiplied by 0. Then the old man out to remain will be shirk itself. And with shirk, you have nowhere to go. When you die, when you're having shirk, to hell. When Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, in, I think, Surah Al-An'am, yes, He mentioned about 18 companions, 18 prophets, messengers. Then He made a comment. A simple one. He said, وَلَوْ أَشْرَكُوا لَحَبِطَ عَنْهُمْ مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. Could they associate me with anything? I could do like this to all their deeds, like this. He also told the Prophet, peace be upon him, لَإِنْ أَشْرَكْتَ لَيَحْبَطَنَّ عَمَلُكَ. If you make a mistake of associating me with anything, I will cancel out all your deeds. Who of us has ever done deeds which are better than those of the Prophet, peace be upon him? If Allah is promising him that He will cancel out everything, then what of ours? فَمِن بَابِ أَوْلَى. Pray that may Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala prevent us from shirk. Allow me to stop there. Thank you for listening. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.